In this lesson, we'll talk about moving and copying. So let's say you want to move something inside of your Revit project. For example, looking at my window or my screen, I actually have a layout of grids with columns at the intersection of each grid. Except in the lower two quadrants or intersections, I do not have columns. So let's first look at how do we move something within Revit. First thing I'd want to do is select what I want to move. So I'm going to choose just one of my columns. You can pick it or window it in. Once it's highlighted, you'll see reference dimensions, and the properties on the left display the information or properties of the column. Now, to modify this or move this, on the Modify panel that now appears on the ribbon, hover over and click Move. Revit will then ask you to click or pick a starting point for your move. Think of it as where you're holding this element. Now, I could pick right in the middle of this column. I could pick on the outside or somewhere else. I'm just going to move into the middle because it's a nice reference point. Go ahead and left click it. Now, after you left click this, you're actually dragging this and moving it, and Revit is asking you for a new position of where to place it. I'm going to move to the next intersection to the right of the column grids, and I'll see a snap appear when I'm there. Revit is asking me now to click a point or your destination of where you want to place this column. Go ahead and left click, and you've actually moved the column from point to point. Now, the copy command is very similar. The only difference really is you're making a copy of this. So once again, select your column. With the column selected, the Modify panel on the ribbon appears. Hover over and click Copy. Now, before you start to copy, let's make note of the actual options bar across the top. You have the option to constrain this, disjoin it if it was joined, or I can make multiple copies. Multiple copies would mean I can make one copy and then another copy and keep copying until I tell Revit I'm technically done. However, I'm just going to do a single copy. So just like the Move command, Revit is asking us to pick a point to start with. And once again, I'm going to move into the middle or the center or intersection of these actual grids. Go ahead and left click. Now I'm holding the column just like I was before in the Move command, and Revit is now asking me to place this copy somewhere in my Revit drawing. So I'm going to move to another intersection of the column grids. Once I see my snap appear, left click. And now what I've done is I've made a copy of that original column. Now, if I had the multiple checkbox checked, it would allow me to make multiple copies, meaning I could continue to copy and copy until I basically told Revit I'm done by either hitting the Escape key or clicking Modify on the left part of your ribbon. So as a review, in this lesson, we looked at moving and copying components within Revit. We first selected an element, such as a column, and then we chose the Move command. Revit then asked us to pick a point to start moving, and then we picked another point as a destination point. Copy worked the same way by clicking a point to copy from and then clicking a point to copy to. The difference with copy is you make a copy, and you could also make multiple copies if you set the option on the options bar.